Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Becca. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited to film today's video, partly because I got a brand new camera and I'm obsessed with it. I'm so excited to film this video. I also just haven't done like a sit down chit chat video for so long. I feel like the past couple of videos that I've put up have been like travel, which has been fun for me because I love watching that stuff back, but I also enjoy like doing these little check-ins and like doing a sit-down video. So I'm excited for today's. And I'm also excited to get back into some of the nursing content because it's been a second, but we're back, we're thriving. Thank you so much for being here as well. I'm so happy you're here. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. Obviously today's video is a nursing video, so if you don't already know, I have been a nurse for a year and a half now, which I don't think I can consider myself like a new grad nurse anymore, even though I definitely feel like one still at times. But I feel like that only brings more advice for today's video, because today I'm going to talk about things that I've learned in my first year as a nurse and what advice I feel like would be fun to share or like important or beneficial to share to somebody that's just starting out, or honestly anybody that's in the nursing field. So I started in ICU as a new grad nurse and it was very scary, but it was really rewarding and I would do it again. We'll get into it later in the video, but it has been like seriously the greatest experience and I am super grateful that I started where I did. I also still work at that same job. I don't know if I made that kind of confusing, but started as a new grad in an ICU and I work at that same ICU today. There's just like a little bit of background if you're not familiar with my channel or like who I am or anything like that. And maybe you're wondering how you even have the experience to share the advice in this video. So that's why. So without further ado, let's just get right into what you came here to see. I have like a whole list of things that I've written down that I want to share. So if you see me looking at my phone, that's why. I just want to make sure you get all of the good details. So let's just dive into the first thing. So my first piece of advice is to ask questions. And I know that we heard this a lot when we were in nursing school. Seriously cannot agree more. And I can't express the importance of asking questions when you don't know something, because when you're a new grad baby nurse, I'm sorry to say it, but you know nothing. Zilch. In nursing school, you learn how to take a test and maybe like some skills and just like a very broad, like here's different things you might see when you're a nurse. But then you're gonna get a job, you're gonna pick a unit and you're gonna learn super specific things to that unit. For example, I have a very specific ICU job. So I know a lot about like a certain patient population, and other than that though, like I couldn't tell you a ton. So I know like a lot about my specific unit. And so in nursing school, you get like this super broad knowledge, right? Like you learn how to take the NCLEX, you learn a few like big ideas, and maybe you catch on to like some specifics. But for the most part, you learn a lot on the job. So ask questions. If anybody ever makes you feel bad for asking questions, that's on them, because the scary nurse is the one that doesn't ask questions. And I fully believe that patient safety comes before me looking stupid. So I will always ask questions if I don't know something, because I don't know a lot of stuff, and it's really cool because I'm able to learn new things every day at my job, and I have a very safe like learning environment in the way that I don't feel bad asking questions to the people around me. I hope that would be the case for many units, but yeah, I feel like very grateful for where I chose to work as a new grad. And honestly, even if I was scared, which there are times where I'm scared to ask, I ask anyways, because like I said, the patient safety always comes first. Even having students and having a capstone and things like that now, being on the other end of it, just ask the questions. It's super important. I love answering questions, and I think it's like really cool because I actually have learned more by like teaching it to like my capstone or teaching it to my students. So it's really cool. And I don't care if you're a new grad nurse or like you've been a nurse for 40 years. I think that there's always something new to learn, and I don't think anybody knows everything. Next, the first few months are going to be the hardest. Push through. That was something that was very difficult for me when I started in my unit. While it's the ICU, I oriented for about 6 months. I was with a preceptor every day. After the 6 months of being with a preceptor, the way that my unit does orientation is that then I start getting my own patient assignment, but I have like a preceptor that might be shared among like other nurses that are also new. For 4 weeks I was like sharing a preceptor with other new nurses that started with me. So it's like we have our own like charge nurse in a way, just like our own resource that always checks on us. Not that things changed when I was done orienting, because obviously I still have a charge nurse and I still have people I can ask questions. It was just kind of like the segue between like being with the preceptor every day, orientation, to like being on your own. So that was just like my specific training. That's how they did it. So those first few shifts on my own, getting my own patient assignment, but also having like help, obviously, those shifts were very, very difficult, but very, very cool, just in the way that like for that moment I had a preceptor every single day and I was learning from them, and I did things on their timeline and the way that they wanted things done, which is fine. But then once I got to be on my own, I got to start making decisions, and it was a very big growing point for me, because then I was able to become my own nurse and like get confidence in myself and my decisions and communicate with the team and like better so many nursing skills. And it honestly, looking back, was probably one of my most favorite times. Very hard to like start being on your own, but also just super rewarding to be able to feel like I can do this and I can ask for help when I need it. So the first few months were very hard. I'm gonna be honest, I cried a lot. And I got a lot of pre-shift anxiety, which I feel is pretty normal, especially for being a new grad in the ICU. But I got really, really anxious, like going into work and like not knowing what my patient assignment was gonna be, and kind of just like the fears that go with that. But I told myself that I wanted to be there, and I did truly want to be there, but it was hard. And there were times that I definitely wanted to try something else, but it was important to me to push myself, so I stayed, and I'm very grateful. So this is just kind of like my plug to you if you're kind of feeling in that same boat. The first few months are the hardest, regardless of, I don't know what anybody tells you, but I think the first few months, because you're learning how to be a nurse and you're trying to learn specifics to taking care of your patient population. So it's just like a lot of learning, and it's a lot at once, and it's very overwhelming, but it gets so much better. It truly, truly does. Just give it some time, because it gets better, and I needed people to tell me that, because in the moment it doesn't feel like it's gonna get better. It just feels scary and it feels hard, but it gets better and you can do it. Next thing, this one's a little bit more lighthearted, because I feel like we've had some like little heart-to-heart ones, but this one is just about night shift. I was very nervous about going into night shifts, because I am the type of person that wants to be in my bed at 9 p.m. and if we turn on a movie at night, I'm out like so fast. I go to sleep so fast, and I was super worried because I had never pulled an all-nighter before my capstone. Like, I never worked nights. I was very, very nervous, and honestly, they're not bad. I actually kind of really, really like them. So that was like a fun little thing that I figured out. Honestly, I'm very, very tempted to go full nights, but I have a husband, and it's really not like the greatest for your health, but I do love a good night shift. So that's something that surprised me, and honestly, like, night shifts are kind of fun. Okay, let's see. This one is also just something that I am still working on. As a new grad nurse, I have to work 50-50 days and nights, and I work a lot of weekends and holidays. I know that we're kind of told that when we are like graduating school, right? Everyone's like, you're gonna get like horrible schedules and like things like that. I actually really love working 12s, and it is so nice to have 4 days off in the week. But something that I haven't figured out yet is the scheduling, just in terms of what works for me. And I'm a year and a half out, so you would think that I haven't figured out as to like what schedule works for me. Like, do I like 3 days? Do I like 3 nights? Do I like a day and 2 nights? Do I like 2 days and a night? I still haven't figured that out, and that's okay. Like, I honestly do like working both, and that's what's hard, because I like to work days and I like to work nights, and sometimes I like to work a day and 2 nights. Sometimes it's nice to work 3 nights in a week. I just haven't figured that out yet. I feel like it should be normalized. I feel like you still don't know what schedule you want. I feel like it kind of depends on my mood, because sometimes I like one thing and sometimes I don't. Yeah, I just don't want you to feel alone if you also don't know what kind of schedule that you like, because I don't either, and I'm almost at like, I'm getting closer to 2 years as a nurse. So yeah, that is something that I learned about myself. Let's see, but maybe you've already figured that out, because I feel like some people know they love to work all nights and it works for them and their families, and some people like to work all days and that works for them and their families. So I just haven't figured that out for myself yet, and it is nice because it's just me and my husband, so it's like I can work pretty much like whatever schedule each week, and I do a lot of flip-flopping. So for example, I usually will flip from days to nights at least once a week, which some people just wouldn't want to do or couldn't do. So ooh, this one. So probably gonna get floated before you feel ready. I did. I think we could get floated to other units, I want to say after like 6 months. I mean, every unit's different and everybody's work is different, but ICU or new grad nurse, me speaking from my experience, I don't think we could float for a few months or at least a few weeks being on our own. You'll float before you feel like you're ready. I feel like when I first got the text that I was floating, like the very first time ever, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it just feels a little bit scary. Obviously it was totally fine and it's been fine, but be ready to float. I get nervous about it, but I love where I work, so I feel like everybody around me is super great at like supporting me and like helping me when I do get floated and things like that. But just be ready for that flow. This one is very important. If you hear anything in this video, hear this. You need to take time for yourself, and you need to take your days off, and you need to fully disconnect. Leave work at work. It is way easier said than done, trust me when I say I know what that feels like, because I definitely take work home even to this day. I think I probably will for a while. I work in a stressful environment, but I love it. And it's hard for me to leave work at work, but when I am off of work, I like to do things that I enjoy, going to like my hobbies and things when I'm on my day off, or I like to travel. So just take advantage of those days that you have off and try, I mean, obviously like help your team and like pick up extras if you want. I know I have, but also like just know, make a balance with yourself in terms of picking up extras, because the money's good, but your mental health is very important as well. So just balance it and you'll be fine. I just want to emphasize the fact that like taking care of yourself is very important, and you need to take care of yourself in order to best take care of your patients. So if that means you need to book a trip to the Bahamas, book a trip to the Bahamas. Like, it's just really important to have a good work-life balance, and whatever that may look like for you. Okay, and then my last plug in this video is just to push yourself. When I was in nursing school, I had a friend group that was super smart. Like, everybody in my friend group was very smart. They all wanted to be like ICU nurses. I think out of all of us, I think maybe like 2 of them plus me didn't want to do ICU, and everybody else wanted to be an ICU nurse. And I always thought of ICU nurses as like super smart and like super like, I don't know, just really, I just thought ICU nurses were like super smart, and I didn't think that I was capable, and I didn't think that I could work in an ICU because I felt like I was not smart enough. And I applied for one and I got the job, and I've been in the ICU for like 1.5 years, and I just want to advocate for you that if there's something that you want to pursue, that you should do it, and to push yourself. Because if I didn't push myself, because I was very scared to be a new grad and to start in an ICU. If I didn't push myself, then I wouldn't be making this video right now. And I've learned so many skills. Like I said, I learn things every single day, and it's amazing, and I love it so much. And yeah, I just want to tell you to push yourself if there's like a certain nursing job that you want to do, or something that you think would be really cool. I feel like I'm speaking from experience, because I didn't think I was smart enough, didn't think I was capable, and now look at me now. It's awesome. Something that helped me too is that I said to myself, I was like, I am gonna be scared as a new grad no matter where I work. Why not go work as an ICU nurse? And like, I really wanted my foundation to be strong, and so obviously there's many different units that you can make a strong foundation. It does not have to be ICU, but for me personally, that is what I wanted, an ICU foundation of knowledge. I don't know, I just wanted to end on that note. That's all that I have for you in today's video. I hope that you enjoyed watching, and hopefully you took something away from today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys, thanks for watching.